Oh, hello. Take a shot of, well, really like a couple teaspoons of some corn liquor. I feel a little something coming on, and I don't think it helped. But I just wanted to say something about respect. Like the 8 years that Obama was in office, you notice the Republicans had no respect for Obama simply because he was black. I think that what Obama administration has done is let us see how racist the Republicans are, and I think that right off the bat you see how like the policies they think they need to enforce, um, like with the ban on Muslims, um, like, and you would think that they would have known that most of the nasty stuff they was doing um, was on the brink of just treason, and they already breached our constitution, but so, but but they don't have any respect. um, like they didn't have, and now look what we have in office. We have a Trump, and that was something they was happy to have in office was Trump, because then they had the Republicans could run everything. You know, um, and like I don't know if anybody's seen on C-SPAN the way that they was treating Elizabeth Warren. Okay, there's no way the Republicans can lose. You know what I'm saying? What would I? Personally, I would have been very nice to her. Maybe like they would have thought, oh, she has a little smile on her face, or back there gloating or whatever. Um, but I wouldn't continue to attack after you got them. But that is how races are, and um, that's very hard for a lot of people to continue listening to their bullying as it mostly is basically they just want to cause a lot of pain, is suffering. Um, and like over here in this neighborhood, I've been watching a couple of families just gawking at them from a distance, and from the day that she had little stir steppers, she's hitting them. Now, if you say something to, because like here in Memphis, Tennessee, it's been affected by racists, uh, like that now that we have in office, and we can all see who they are. They're flaunting it, um, and we know, and we have experience. But anyway, I find it very interesting. Um, if you watch, like, because I get to see how they are, like from the beginning with their parents, then I could see ones that are my age and older. So anyway, that's all she do is hit on these kids. That's all she does, and they're way behind where they should be, because the parents are not teaching them. They do what they call discipline. Discipline just basically means like they just fucking beat the hell out of kids, just cause a lot of pain, um, just like that. So you just hear a lot of the kids just crying, and they're just suffering, and poor kids, and like they have a little puppy. And these kids like doing, and you could see that the kids learn very young, because like I think the kids are like a year or two. Like no, I guess there's a 2-year old, a 4-year old, a 6-year old. There's four of them. I don't know how old they are, but anyway, they might be something like that. But anyway, because I never even asked how the lady. I didn't even ask the lady her name. But anyway, I'm just observing. And so, and then like if you look at them when they're adults, like you see, and when you tell the parents, you shouldn't hit the kid. Well, that's discipline. Well, how you discipline your kid? They don't ever ask you, well, how do you teach this kid? You know, um, there's no, like, they didn't read any book on how to rear their child during their pregnancy. They don't ask any questions like on how to develop your child to the full. Well, anyway, I stopped the lady from shaking it because I'm like, she's shaking her kid, and I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I was like, baby syndrome. No, I said, you're gonna give it shaking brain, you're gonna give it shaking brain syndrome, you know. It's she's trying to show off that she's playing with it. I'm like, she don't even know how to interact with her kid, but it it being it, and at those very young age, the hitting on the head, that shaking them, even if you're not shaking them enough to really cause a lot of fetal damage or whatever they call it. Um, anyway, so they don't, so they're far away from teaching. The same thing I found in when I visited one of the churches is that in Sunday school they're teaching them shit. They're giving them like cute little like sayings to say. I can't even remember what it was, but I was I was like, I felt so sorry for the children. It's really the children because like um I just feel sorry for the kids. They made these one kids get up, and the problem was is that they didn't have rehearsal enough for the kid. They didn't really, they clapped for him, but the kids didn't really. They did at that age. They could have did a lot better. I used to teach. There's no excuse, but it's just a simple fact that they're teaching. They don't teach anymore. They discipline the kids. So these kids are getting disciplined. Like for like little babies, they get disciplined when they cry, and some of these so their idea of making them stop crying is to hit them. Then the kid really cries. That really pisses them. Well, anyway, that what so uh, and then when they get like older, like especially the teenagers are very confused. Because like they say, oh, marijuana is a gateway drug. No, it's cigarettes. Cigarettes is the first thing that usually that's ready, it's available for them, and but they don't want to say that, but and also the moms just curse at the kids all the time, which is funny because oh, I got pneumonia. I'm taking another shot of whiskey. uh, anyway, that's disgusting to look at that. It's like I'm analyzing it, but so they have a lack of respect um at a very young age for their mom. They really and that manifests into easier when they get teenager boys to be insensitive. Because their mom was insensitive to their learning curve needs. It's very important uh, to a child's feeling of well, they don't like it's well the feeling of need and want, but instead they get like this rejection. It's all unconscious in a sense. Um, it's and then so you're able to like they like the little like some of the teenage boys like especially the way they see their fathers treating women, the way they hear their fathers talk. Like what so you see in teenagers acting out of like rape, like they had a little just even in their sexual act with the girls get like first thing the parents these Christians are gonna do, their daughter gets pregnant, they're just gonna pretty much and this daughter major health emergency health need, and I don't know. I guess some women to them it's when they wouldn't consider. a teenager pregnancy, being a medical emergency, but I would, instead of, this is when this pre-adult needs really a lot of nurturing. Of course, they should have nurturing from the beginning. It shouldn't be anyway like all discipline, because like, so what happens is, and that's how you have where they have the problem, the learning problem. And you can see a lot of that in the Republicans, like with Trump, like, oh, he's not doing any of the reading. He's not, I don't know if he got whooped. Nowadays it's like everybody got whooped, and I can even tell you because Anne Lurleen was telling me, because she thought she had, like some people, they look back and they remember what they did, and some people, for some reason, uh, they don't remember, like, none of it. They just remember the bad stuff people done to them. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids, like they don't remember, like, oh look, oh, that happy little Christmas for 2 seconds before you start yelling and beating on me. They just remember the pain, but it's unconscious that they remember. It festers up, and they're always seeking this pain, because this is what they associate love with. That's another problem you have with teenagers, especially when they start with their sexual thing. But anyway, what's like, that's what I get for drinking corn liquor. Ooh. I'm starting to feel a little woozy. Anyway, um, so anyway, it can be done. Well, anyway, I was gonna say was like Ed Lurley was talking about in the 50s, like they promoted this to whoop your kids. They promoted it in the church. Um, spare the anyway. At the same time, they're telling white folks that they could have their Mayberry, which is a fantasy um, make believe town, um, where the time I seen it, you could tell pretty obvious the propaganda. It was like the sheriff there with his deputy, definitely his boyfriend, and then the two girl, they both had dating two women. They were both single at that age, no kids, and whatever that time period. Girls, this two girl best friend, lesbian. Then they had like the lady that's the maid that looked younger than both of them. So anyway, so you could see the undercovers of the propaganda that was going on at that time. With the with the I guess you would say, like like hints of sexual, but denial. You know what I'm saying? Like they knew right then in the 50s, like if they could breach our Constitution, freedom of speech. That the TV could really control and run stuff. They could, what I'm saying. Uh, is I never met a kid that didn't learn cursing at home, because they'll curse you out at such a young age. They hadn't been anyplace else. You know, I've heard 7-year-olds cursing each other out playing. So, um, they didn't get that from hanging around. Well, they got that from hanging around adults. But anyway, so you have inflicted on these kids this at a very young age, the pain, which they get confused with like love, giving out pain, and they do stuff, and all the time it causes pain and discomfort all the time, and like even their sexual acts it's coming to where like, oh, like I hear these kids talking about, like, all they're doing is eating ass, which I don't know, like, right, in this we have a bad hepatitis problem with people on dialysis here, so that might not be the smartest thing to do, because uh I think y'all want to go more always to frontal, not in this. Anyway, the, but the rules to decency go out, like chivalry goes out. So you have relationships that are you could look at Jerry Springer to notice, and yeah, those people have they are real people. Um, or you could get a good picture of how people are seeing relationships. And Steve Waco, you could watch some of those type of shows, and those are real Americans, and you can see the relationship is just a matter of there's no cohesion. It's like, well, I'm a man. You know how I am. Like they just like tell the woman, you know how I am, man. You're supposed to understand I'm a man. I gotta, you know. So anyway, so you can see from the early childhoods that instead of instilling the like the one thing all mammals need, and rats are getting mama rats are doing it, uh dog bitches doing it with their kids. Anyway, most mammals, they spend a lot of time nurturing, and it's exchange of your whole learning experience you're going to give to this child, so you can make the child life simpler. So anyway, I guess it's a little bit more complicated than I thought it was going to be. But the result is that the result of their behavior is that you end up like in the South, where really they've been devastated. It's very obvious, very plain to see, unless it's you. you know then they're blind to the past. It's like they got blinders on. Not like blind like that, but blind like to reality. And um but you can now see it. They have exposed themselves up in the white, on this on the Senate floor. Uh, I mean, like I was saying, you could see how they treated Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren said she's an Indian. They're gonna like she can't prove it. Ain't no way she prove it. A lot of motherfuckers, you can't prove it because they wasn't trying. They was trying to do the same thing that the Republicans was doing to Obama, trying to shame, humiliate him, and then now they're trying to go, pick through his stuff without getting debriefed. Which, I mean, like if I was Obama, I would not go get in the middle of that at all, because if you do, they'll say, well, it's his fault. Of course, like you don't get paid no more. But this is what they want. You know, I think it's ridiculous for them not to think past their hate, and that's what happens. That's what happens. You see these little kids; they can't think past the hate. They can't think past the pain. But then all at once they got this freaky idea, like like the little kid just come up and hit you, like I'm showing you love. And you're like, no, baby. And so like you could tell, like, because they'll even flinch a little bit, because like they're used to getting hit back, and you just give them like a light touch, just to see if they'll flinch, if that's where they're coming from. And it's devastating. But you can watch the parents that are hitting the kids. It's just like it really fucked up Aunt Lurleen. She thought she had been foolish to like to go along with that, because um, at that time also, like if the women would fall out in church, they would pretty much sexually assault them. And and it was like really the woman that got the most sexually abused, I guess. So like in the situation, be the ones that are like drag some other female in there, and like do it to her. I guess so, like they could get the attention. Anyway, so that's either here or there. So that is the main problem with racist white people, is that they don't have respect. And it's not that they don't have respect for blacks. They have hate for blacks. They have hate for anything because anything, if they had to learn something or learn to do something, that was usually started with a belt or a switch, or maybe a punch, or or maybe or maybe they take their food away from them, or maybe make them stand on some nails. That'll learn them. All the stuff that you would do all the things that you would do that they do stops learning because when you're in pain or something like that, the way your mind works, it shuts down. So yeah, they would have more hard time teaching them. It's like I've had it's funny because it never, it's funny because I hear something when I used to teach, and this lady was I was like, hey, your kid has a problem hitting, and she goes, I don't know, I brought him home and I hit him and I hit him and I guess he just don't get it. She would hold the teacher a lesson on hitting him on hitting other kids by hitting them. She went home and gave him a whooping. Oh, that's what she said. I went home and I gave him a good old whooping. And you would think that would have taught him. I was thinking, yeah, now I see why he came home. He came back to school the next day and beat the fuck out of that kid. It was only in the second grade. But anyway, so you can't get into them, or if you tell them you don't have to whoop your kid to teach them. Well, how do you discipline them? They don't ask. And I haven't had one of them say, well, how do you teach them then? No, I was like, how? Well, how do you discipline them? Like, my God, they just came in the fucking world. The only thing they know is the shit that you done, taught them. And if they're only doing shit that you hate, maybe you should stop doing that shit to them if you don't like it back. And I think that's what's wrong with the Republicans now. They real scared because that's usually what happens. People do it back to them. Oh, I'm gonna have to do this over again and cut it down. I'm sick.